All right, so welcome to your own personal deep dive into, well, the future of AI, I guess you could say. It's 2025 now, and they're definitely changing.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Especially for, well, people like you who need
Yeah.
to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Daily.
We're looking at a report that is aimed at compliance officers
Right.
that's discussing this whole thing about navigating the future of trusted AI and systems.
hmm
What's next in 2025?
Big question.
It is a big question, and get this.
Okay.
The U.S. government,
Oh, boy.
they're shifting their entire approach
Oh.
to AI, and we're going to break down what that means for you.
Yeah, that's a big one. It really is a huge shift.
Yeah.
The current AI executive order, well, the one that really emphasizes responsible AI development is expected to be replaced.
Okay.
And the new order, it's going to prioritize AI innovation and growth, to keep the U.S. competitive globally.
So it sounds like the U.S. is like hitting the gas pedal when it comes to AI.
Full speed ahead, pretty much.
But what are the implications of this shift for businesses, research, even individual rights?
That is the million-dollar question. I mean, this
Yeah.
could lead to a surge in investment and development,
Yeah.
potentially accelerating breakthroughs in areas, I mean, you name it, medicine, robotics, even climate change solutions. But,
Sure.
with every, I guess, every rose there's thorns.
Of course.
We're also seeing some concerns about potential ethical implications,
Oh, yeah.
unintended consequences, that sort of thing.
That makes sense. Less regulation could mean faster progress.
Yeah.
But maybe at the cost of safeguards, right?
Potentially, yeah.
How will businesses and researchers navigate this new landscape, this new world?
It's tricky. The report highlights the need for balance,
Okay.
a delicate balance.
Yeah.
While federal agencies are going to focus on integrating AI,
Uh-huh.
you still have existing frameworks and regulations that apply.
So it's like
Yeah, it's this weird
gray area.
gray area, yeah.
Yeah.
Organizations are going to have to be agile
Okay.
and informed
On top of
to
their
keep up, with the rapid developments while also making sure that they're in compliance.
Yeah.
It's, I think it's going to be fascinating
I think so too.
to see how all this plays out.
It's interesting. The report also talks about this rise of non-regulatory approaches to AI.
Oh, right.
What are those exactly? I mean, is that even a thing?
It is. So think of it as less hard and fast rules and more like guidelines.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
We're seeing a lot more of these sector-specific policies, voluntary frameworks,
Okay.
pilot programs, things like that. They encourage responsible AI development
Yeah.
without being, super strict.
So more like best practices than legal requirements.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good way to put it. And one example that they mentioned is the NIST AI risk management framework.
Okay.
And that's essentially a toolkit
Okay.
that organizations can use to assess and manage AI-related risks. But you don't have to use it. You know what
Right.
I mean, it's not mandatory.
So it's more about empowering them. That's
Exactly.
helpful.
Yeah, empowering them to manage risks proactively.
Can you give me like a little more detail on what this framework offers? Like, how does it actually work?
Yeah, sure. So the framework, it really emphasizes a flexible approach,
Okay.
outcome-driven.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to tell you do this, this, and this.
Right.
It's more about helping organizations, figure out their own situation
Yeah.
and then manage the risks based on that.
Hmm.
So it includes methods for, mapping out the AI system's life cycle,
Oh, yeah.
assessing potential biases, implementing safeguards, that sort of thing.
That's really valuable.
I think so, yeah.
Especially in such a rapidly changing landscape.
Right.
But relying on voluntary frameworks raises this question for me.
Yeah.
Can we really strike a balance between encouraging innovation and ensuring responsible development without, being a little bit more strict? Like, do we need more stringent regulations?
It's a big question, a valid concern. The report emphasizes the growing importance of what they call trusted systems
Okay.
as a way to kind of mitigate potential risks,
Yeah.
whether cybersecurity, privacy, even national security.
Now, I'm curious about trusted systems. What exactly does that mean in the context of AI?
So a trusted system, it goes beyond just functionality, right?
Okay.
It's about things like reliability,
Right.
security, privacy,
Mhm.
transparency,
Okay.
building AI systems that are predictable,
Uh-huh.
resistant to manipulation. They respect user privacy.
So it's not just about the AI working correctly. It's about it doing the right thing.
Yeah, being used ethically, responsibly,
But how can, like, someone like me who's maybe not a tech expert,
Yeah.
how can I identify a trusted AI system in my daily life? Like, what should I be looking for?
That's a good question. I think a big one is transparency.
Okay.
Can you understand how the AI system makes decisions?
Hmm.
Does the organization that made the AI, do they have a good track record?
Right.
Ethically, I mean.
Yeah.
Are they open about the data they use?
Right.
How they try to avoid biases? Things like that.
Good points.
Yeah.
Sounds like being informed is crucial in this new AI world.
Absolutely, yeah. And this brings us to something interesting. It's the intersection of AI policy and energy policy.
Okay.
So as AI is integrated more and more into infrastructure,
Like you mean?
like energy grids, yeah,
Okay.
the stakes get even higher.
Wait, AI and energy.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So think about it. AI is being used to optimize energy consumption,
Mm-hmm.
predict outages, and even help us transition to renewable energy.
So AI could actually help combat climate change.
It could. Yeah,
That's pretty amazing.
it's exciting.
But like you said, the stakes are high.
Absolutely.
When we talk about things like, power grids and stuff,
Critical infrastructure, yeah.
what kind of risks do we need to think about?
Well, that's where those concerns about trusted systems come in again.
Yeah.
Because you have things like data privacy,
Right.
security breaches,
Mm-hmm.
the potential for these systems to be manipulated, all that. It gets even more serious when you're talking about the power grid.
Right. It's kind of scary when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, the more powerful AI gets,
Mm-hmm.
the more we have to make sure that it's being used the right way.
100%. And that leads us to another development, one that makes things even more complex,
Okay.
the rise of state-level AI laws.
So we've got this shift at the federal level toward, like, encouraging AI innovation.
Right.
But now you're saying states are getting involved too
Yeah.
with their own AI laws.
Exactly.
That just sounds messy.
It does add a layer of complexity, for sure. States are, well, I guess they're taking the initiative
Yeah.
to address, how AI is going to impact people.
Right.
So we're seeing a whole bunch of new state laws focused on privacy, ethical use, even liability if an AI system causes harm.
Which makes sense. I mean, states are the ones dealing with the actual effects of this tech.
Yeah, the real-world impacts.
Exactly.
They're on the front lines.
But what does this mean for companies that operate in multiple states?
Right.
It's like a logistical nightmare.
Imagine, like, a company that makes a healthcare platform powered by AI.
Yeah.
Now they've got to deal with federal guidelines and a bunch of different state regulations.
On what?
Data privacy, algorithmic transparency, patient consent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's only going to get more complicated as more states pass their own laws.
So right now, it's kind of like the Wild West.
A little bit, yeah.
Everyone's just figuring things out as they go. Does the report, does it say anything about how this might play out in the long run?
It does. It suggests that all this activity at the state level could actually lead to, like, a more comprehensive federal AI regulation down the line.
Okay.
Because as things get more complex and you start seeing conflicts between state laws,
Mm-hmm.
there might be this push for Congress to step in
Yeah.
and create a unified national framework.
So instead of 50 different state laws,
Yeah,
we might end up with one federal standard for AI.
potentially. Yeah,
Well, that would simplify things for businesses, wouldn't it?
it would.
But are there any downsides to that?
That's the debate, right?
Yeah.
A federal framework would provide clarity, consistency. It would make compliance easier.
Mm-hmm.
It could even encourage more investment in AI development.
Right.
But there's also the risk of, like, stifling innovation.
Okay.
If the regulations are too strict or if they can't keep up with how fast AI is changing,
Classic dilemma.
it is.
Balancing safety with progress.
Exactly.
What are some of the big questions that policymakers will need to figure out?
Well, they'll need to decide how much oversight is necessary
Okay.
without slowing things down too much.
Yeah.
Defining clear standards for data privacy, algorithmic transparency, accountability,
Mm-hmm.
that's all going to be crucial. And then there's the issue of bias in AI systems.
Oh, right.
How do you make sure things are fair for everyone?
Big questions.
Huge questions.
With no easy answers, it seems like. It's like technology always moves faster than our ability to control it.
It often does, yeah.
But beyond all the legal and regulatory stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the report also talks about how important it is to understand how these AI systems actually work.
Right.
Why is that so crucial?
Because as AI gets more sophisticated
Yeah.
and becomes a bigger part of our lives,
Uh-huh.
it's not enough to just trust that it's working correctly.
Okay.
We need to understand, like, the mechanisms behind it,
Yeah.
the data that's used, the potential for things to go wrong.
Right. Right.
That knowledge, that's what gives us the power to, identify risks,
Okay.
advocate for responsible development,
Hmm.
hold the people who create these systems accountable.
You're talking about AI literacy,
Yeah.
not just for like the experts,
Right.
but for everyone.
Exactly. Everyone.
But how can the average person like learn about this stuff?
Well, there are a lot of resources out there.
Like,
Online courses, videos, even simulations
okay.
that can help people understand AI. And even conversations like this one
Yeah.
are a good way to start exploring these ideas.
It's good to know that we're not just along for the ride.
Yeah,
Like, we can actually help shape how AI develops.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And remember, AI is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
Like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
Right.
By understanding it, we can make sure it's used to help people, not hurt them.
I appreciate you saying that. It's a good reminder that technology is ultimately in our hands.
It is.
It's up to us how we use it.
Yeah, we have the power to guide it.
Now, I want to talk about like the practical side of all this.
Okay.
How will these changes actually affect people in their everyday lives?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The truth is, AI is already impacting us in a lot of ways.
Really?
Yeah, often in subtle ways that we don't even notice. Think about the recommendations you get online,
Mm-hmm.
the algorithms that control your social media feeds.
Right.
AI is shaping our experiences, the choices we make, even how we see the world.
So it's not just some far-off future thing anymore.
No,
It's already here.
it's happening now.
Can you give me some examples of how AI is already affecting us?
Sure. Think about healthcare.
Okay.
AI is being used to analyze medical images,
Mm.
help with diagnoses,
Mm-hmm.
personalized treatment plans.
Wow.
It's helping doctors catch diseases earlier, more accurately.
Okay.
In finance, AI algorithms are used to detect fraud, assess risk,
Yeah.
even give personalized financial advice.
It sounds like AI could really change things for the better.
It has that potential, definitely.
But what about the downsides?
All right?
We talked about trusted systems,
Mm-hmm.
but what if those systems fail?
Yeah.
Or what if someone uses them for the wrong reasons?
That's when those concerns about bias, transparency, accountability, that's when they become really important.
Yeah.
Because if we're not careful, AI systems can actually perpetuate biases.
Okay.
They can even make them worse, leading to unfair outcomes.
I've heard about that with facial recognition,
Right.
where some systems are less accurate at identifying people of color.
Exactly. That's a prime example.
Wait, what other areas should we be worried about?
Bias can show up in a lot of ways.
Right.
Imagine a hiring tool that discriminates against certain groups
Okay.
because of the data it was trained on,
Yeah.
or a policing algorithm that targets certain neighborhoods unfairly
Wow.
because of historical biases in crime data.
That's scary.
It is.
It really emphasizes the need to be careful and
Yeah.
to think critically
Absolutely.
as we use AI more and more. So it seems like we're at this like crossroads with AI. It can do so much good, but there's also the potential for harm if we're not careful. What can we do, like as individuals, as a society, to make sure AI is a force for good?
That's where this idea of responsible AI comes in.
Okay.
It's a whole approach, really.
To what? Like, what does it involve?
Everything from how we manage data to making algorithms transparent to having ethical frameworks and strong oversight. It's about making sure AI systems reflect human values,
Right, right.
that they respect human rights and that they promote fairness and inclusivity.
So it's not just about preventing bad things from happening.
No.
It's about making sure AI is used to make things better for everyone.
Exactly.
What can people do, like in their own lives, to support responsible AI?
I think the first step is to just learn about it.
Yeah.
Understand what AI can do, what it can't do, how it's being used, the risks, the ethical stuff. Support organizations that are pushing for responsible AI. Use your voice to raise awareness.
So being an informed citizen is more important than ever.
Absolutely.
What about on a larger scale? Like, what role do governments and businesses have?
Governments need to create regulations and guidelines that encourage responsible AI development, but also allow for innovation.
Yeah.
They need to invest in research, support education and training, and create ethical frameworks, to guide how AI is developed and used.
Yeah.
Businesses have a responsibility to develop and use AI ethically in a way that aligns with societal values.
So it's a team effort, basically. Everyone needs to work together.
It is, yeah, a shared responsibility. The report actually ends with a really interesting question.
Oh, what is it?
As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, how do we balance innovation with making sure it's used for good?
That's a tough one.
It is.
And, what role do you think you can play in shaping this future?
I think that's a question we should all be asking ourselves. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something you're creating right now with every choice we make, every technology we develop, every policy we put in place. You can choose to be informed, to ask questions, to demand that AI is used to benefit humanity.
That's a powerful thought. I feel like I've learned so much from this deep dive. It's complicated, but it's also, like, hopeful.
I agree. It's complex, it's changing all the time, but we have the power to shape it.
Thanks for helping me navigate all of this.
You're welcome. Remember, the future of AI, it's not something that happens to us, it's something we create together.
That's a great way to put it. And that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.